Hello and welcome to ET Garage. Anyway, today's video, I'm going to go over what I'm finding so far on the heads before I send them out to the machine shop. And we'll go over that in a minute. Okay, here we are looking at the cylinder heads, and as you can see, there's excessive carbon buildup on these valves. And I don't know if you can tell in here, but there is excessive wear here. And you can see that step. Right there is the valve that wasn't, part of the valve that wasn't touched to the valve guide. But the valve stem right here is a step, and there's about 7/1000ths of a step, which is, for the amount of miles on this, I think is excessive anyway. 54,000 miles. That's allowing the valve to move all around and not seat properly. This is a tulip style, or well, I wouldn't call it a tulip style, but it is a neck down valve, so that part there doesn't matter. It's this section here that rides in the guide. And that's where the wear occurred. Now, these do have bronze liners in them, these heads. Last time I had them rebuilt, which was 54,000 miles ago. And the funny thing is, the exhaust doesn't have that wear on the stem, as you can see there. However, the guide is much more worn on the exhaust. And on the intake, the stem on the valve is worn, but the guide isn't that worn. And I don't have a gauge to test that, to check the guide, the wear on the guide, but I can stick the exhaust in there and wiggle it around, and it's almost no wiggle at all. So I can tell that the guide itself isn't worn. Where on the exhaust, you stick that in and wiggle it around, there's quite a bit of play. But anyway, that's excessive wear. Here's one that I cleaned up so I can inspect it better. Like I said, I don't know if how good you could see that. I was going to try and hold a straight edge there. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of difficult to do. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's just how much of a taper is there. But anyway, let me show you the rest of these heads. Okay, here's another view of the head. I already cleaned the carbon off, and I'm I ported these last time when I built this motor. And now I'm doing a refresh. I'm going to do a little bit more porting, and I already cleaned most of the carbon off. I'm going to do a little more polishing of the chamber. These are not how the stock chambers looked. I'm doing I changed the shape and opened them up a little bit to bring the compression to where I wanted to with the pistons. So basically, I'm just going to on the short side radius of the exhaust, even though I cleaned that up last time, I'm going to clean it up a little more, get it a little more rounder. And on the intake, I can't do too much more, just a better job of blending the seats. They're stock. There's a big gap sticking out between the seat and the intake, which creates a lot of turbulence and probably hurts flow. Without a flow bench, you don't know, but just going by what the experts say. And if you look right here around the valve guide, I really didn't do much with that. There's not much material to do anything with, but I am going to narrow that up. I'm waiting on my cutters, the ones I have. I could use the ones I have, they just take longer. And so basically that, and let me flip the head around a little bit. And I'll probably do just a little bit more porting on these intakes. There's not too much I can do, really. There's just not much on these 113 castings, these L98 heads that came on the 90 Corvette. And I forgot what other years they came. There's just not much you can do. There's just not enough material there. In this area, like right here, from here to here, I don't know if you can see that. It's almost no material there to remove without breaking through that wall. I mean, there's more I can remove, but it's, in my opinion, not worth it to break through. I mean, if you do break through, they're aluminum. The good thing is you can have them welded. So I'll do a little bit better cleanup job on these, and that's about it. Then we'll go off to the machine shop and It'll be weeks before I get my block back from the machine shop. I'm going to take these to a different machine shop who should be able to get me get these done quicker. I couldn't, the machine shop I took the block to, he never called me back about what the time frame would be on the heads, because they don't, their business changed. They don't do that anymore. They just do the blocks, I guess, and engine assembly. So take this to a different machine shop, and they should be able to get these done right away, but I got to port them first, and they'll have to definitely change all the intake valves and the guide liners. So I'll wrap this up, I guess. Okay, that's another video on the progress I'm doing with the 383. It's going to be long and slow. I'll try and keep everyone updated whenever I can. Like I said, I got to get these, do a little more porting on both these heads and get the chambers cleaned up and the other one apart, and the same thing on that. I got to do that, and there's a bunch of, basically I got a bunch of cleaning up to do. There's more porting on the lower base I want to do yet. I may take the intake plenium and have that powder coated. I'd probably do that next week if I do that while I'm waiting. It's just a waiting game, really. Once I get the block back, I can order everything I need and get it together. I could order stuff now. I like to wait just in case there's a change. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. There's more things I'm going to do. I'll go over that in upcoming videos. I'm not going to go in-depth engine build. There's a lot of good engine build videos out there. So I'll go over what I do and what steps I'm at, and got to get the engine bay cleaned up, and I want to do a little rewiring under there. Not rewiring, but just clean up the wiring where it runs on the driver's side. Kind of pack that in a little bit better. But that's about it for now. So everybody, have a great day. God bless.